Hey, good evening, everybody. Healing Heavy Hearts. Before I start saying anything, I'm just going to give y'all just a second to enjoy God's creation. I'm blessed to be working down in Grand Isle today at the Cajun Bahamas. And a little earlier today, as you can look out and see the Gulf, it's just really placid with these lazy waves rolling in. And, as the water recedes, some more comes in. And I got to just thinking a little while ago, we went out on a charter, and right where I'm pointing was 4 5-foot rollers. It was really unsafe, so we didn't even stay out there very long and came in. And the more I thought about that, it was like, well, that's kind of like our life. The time that we're in, let's say in a day, let's compare that to a lifetime. And in that lifetime, there are so many more seasons. And all of us will have different journeys at different times in different circumstances. The one thing is that I've really learned to understand, God's timing can never be understood by man. There's just nothing we can do to ever even contemplate it. So, my question tonight is, what season are you in? Is it a season where you are just starting to go through stuff? Hey, Janet, see you next week. That's right. We'll be down here on the Cajun Bahamas out of Leeville. But let's go back to the serious side. What season are you in? Have you just experienced a really rough loss? And all of a sudden, in 2 or 3 weeks, it's just as real to you and probably even more painful. But a lot of the rest of the world tends to go back to their normal routine. And wow, what does that mean? Well, it means the strength that we have inside of us when we're running by ourselves is only the strength of a relationship with God. I ran it solo for so many years and thought I was doing well, and I promise you, those that know me know that all I did was just run a lot of circles. But that experience has made me who I am today, where I can look around and say, you know what? I do understand the walk of the seasons. Number one, you can never feel like you're alone. We've shared this many, many times. Tonight, since I'm down here cooking and fishing at our place, we're actually just having a share time of what season am I in and how am I making it through it. So I'd like to challenge each and every one of you. Number one, try to find somebody that you could relate to, that maybe is further down the road than you are at this time, and maybe they could help you. Or maybe you're far enough down here where you can see somebody where you were utterly destroyed. And you say, you know what? I get it. I understand. I know where you're at. I don't know exactly how you feel, but I know all the anguish and the pain that you feel. Hey, Annette, how you doing? I wish I could bring all of y'all out here right now and just feel the peacefulness of this. But just a little while early, when we were out on the charter, I actually was white-knuckle driving a boat. It was like, no, there's no way. I mean, yesterday, some friends of mine caught 80 trout, 4 miles away from the landing in front of the island. Today, it was just basically undoable. Now, did I make the decision to fight it anyway? No. I made the decision because safety was in coming back in. It was so windy. I mean, it was 20-plus mile-an-hour winds. Now it's 4 and 5. So the season of where you at, I promise you, will change. Number two, no one can know what I feel. Maybe not in a human form, but there's a God up there who watched his son go to the cross, endure the torture, endure everything that he endured just for us. So there is someone who understands. God does understand. And I promise you, a relationship that is beyond human understanding will endure to carry you through. So, with all of this said, with this much peaceful around me, I mean, it's like an ultimate breath of fresh air. I'm sure you can hear these waves crashing and easing in. How do we determine that we can endure? If you think of the word endure, You know, the one part that sticks out, it's end. The end, we have to endure till the end. The end is coming, but it's not the end from the beginning we experienced. You know, if we lost a child, you know, we thought about, and I hate to tug on heartstrings, but what would have been like in junior high? What would have been like, you know, the first diaper change for those that lost children, you know, in a miscarriage. All of those are just as real and just as traumatic as you could imagine, whether it was someone who was 40 years old or someone who hadn't been born yet. They were a reality. They were a specialty. They were something near and dear to God's heart. And for some reason only known to him, he chose it was time for them to come on back. Hey, Kent, wish you were down here on the island with us. So with all this, I look around, I see, look at this young lady. She's right there at the edge of the water, all right? She's getting her feet wet. Maybe that's where you are. Maybe you just have gone through, you know, this loss and you're not ready to jump in. You're not ready to be out there swimming, all right? But you gradually take a few steps and you get out there. Or maybe, like her sister right over there, her sister's sitting there doing her reading, all right? And I'm probably wrong. She's probably on the phone texting, but the thought is good. Wherever you at, you have to just take the moment and accept it. I didn't say you have to like it, but you do have to accept it. That moment is one created for God, special for you. That we were not cut out to live a life of just bliss and happiness here. You know, Christ endured a lot of sufferings, and he said, even so you will suffer for my name. And there are people that are amazing Christians who live lives we just, oh God, we resound and wish we could, you know, just have a half a grasp on the reality that they do. But guess what? Those are the same people. We watched two great friends. The daughter took off on a sailing trip, experienced sailor, has never been heard from again. Can you imagine zero closure? What kind of loss is that? What kind of test of your faith is that? It took a few years for them just to be able to get back around people. Because as much as we want to say the right thing, unfortunately, we really say a lot of wrong things. My challenge to you today, and I think this could be something God would challenge you. Understand that where you at is only part of your journey, and it's only a season. Meaning that if you just work through and accept where you at, and you get up, you might have been on that edge of that shore, not being able to walk, and guess what? You might be up and running, okay? You could be any one of these spots. You know, you could be someone who's lived a life and be sharing this. Just to know that there are people there that you can rely on to be there to love you. And guys and gals, find someone who can be your iron vault. By that I mean somebody that you can pour your heart out to that isn't going to jump on the phone or the text and like, oh my God, do you know what KD thought? Do you know what he's experiencing? Do you know what he's feeling? Man, look, when I need a friend, I need an iron vault. I need to get man to man with somebody, share what I'm living through. You need to get woman to woman. You need to get a group of women. You need to share. You need to share what this love is about, but you need to share what this pain is about. And you need to be able to share that and know that no one else is going to be sharing your story. When you need prayer, you need private prayer. I really get a hitch in my get along with the, oh my God, have you heard about Kevin's living through? Let's pray for Kevin. Okay, come on now. Are you really want to pray for Kevin? You want to talk about Kevin? And look, I can give you plenty of food. I got memories from a lifetime that are in my rearview mirror. Guess what? They're in my rearview mirror because God didn't put rearview mirrors on me to watch my past, but he gave me my past as experience to walk towards the future. So I'm going to close out with this. Take the season that you're in, and if it's really rough, find somebody that can share love with, that you can trust to be an iron vault. Because an iron vault, it doesn't bend, it doesn't break, and it shares and it holds whatever it has inside of it. So here we go. However you want to envision the music or the song, God's putting his son down to rest. And as he comes down to the day, the birds are milling around. Just a little while ago, all those birds were huddled behind the levee, getting out of the wind because it was impossible for them to fly. Now look at them. They're flying. They're feeding. They're back into the season of where they at. And so my message to you tonight, take the season where you're at. If it's hunker down, If it's sit down, if it's just barely getting your feet in the edge, just accept that. But guess what? You're not going to stay there. Just like these little birds right here, okay? They're not going to stay there, okay? I wish I could move my legs like they do. They're in the season of where they're at, and they're constantly moving, and they're going somewhere. So trust God. Remember the thing of footsteps. When you're down to one set of footsteps, it's probably Him carrying you. So God bless you. We love you, and I'll close with this prayer. Father, whatever people are living through, may you be there with them. May you walk with them and guide them. But you may be that set of footprints sometimes when they just can't walk, when they can't carry their own, that you would be there with them and you would bring them home to a place of love and glory in your Son's name. God bless y'all. We love you. I hope this brought a little peace to you. God just don't do it no better than watching Him close a day out or begin a day. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.